What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Monday, September 16th, 2024, and this is how we traded SPY today. But actually, folks, I didn't trade today. I didn't take a single trade today, but I'll go over that here in just a second. What you are going to notice that it's conspicuously missing from my chart today are any kind of lines whatsoever other than the 920. So folks, we got the reason for that is actually very simple. When I did all of my testing several years ago, I used the 1 minute 920. So I meticulously went over every single candle. So every single 1 minute candle over a period of 6 months, I did that manually. I didn't do any look backs or anything like that. I went minute by minute by minute by minute over a 6 month period. And then what I did is I looked for what the expected value was to the upside for every cross and the expected value to the downside for every cross. But what I never did was I never took into account any supply zones, demand zones, or anything like that. Now, all of the testing that I did, it was all done on a conservative cross. So across to the upside, you have a 9 that crosses over the 20 to the upside. And then that first green candle that closes, that's the signal to get into the play from a conservative standpoint. So then, as far as closing out the trade, the first red candle that closed below the 9, that's when I took that trade off the table. And again, I looked at every single candle over a 6 month period. And then back to the downside, what I did was a 9 cross the 20 to the downside. And then the first red candle that closes, once you get that cross to the downside, and to take the trade off the table, it was the first green candle that breached the 9 back to the upside. So it was nothing but conservative plays, folks. It was very, 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 very conservative. So what I found is over a 6 month period. So we're looking for all different market conditions over that 6 month period. I looked at it was an average of the expected value is 53 cents to the upside in SPY dollars for every cross. And again, this was conservative cross. And to the downside, it was a little over $1. So it was almost 2-to-1 back to the downside. So we've all heard, we take the escalator up and the elevator down, or the stairs back to the upside and the escalator or the elevator back to the downside. And it is absolutely true, folks. And again, that's why I don't have any lines on my chart today. I'm not really concerned about anything other than the 920. Now, that does not explain why I didn't take any trades today. I didn't take any trades today, folks, because my head has really not been in it for the last week or so. Had some good trades last week, but my mind has not been in it. Hope to be trading very, very soon. My wife last week was diagnosed with cancer. So trying to navigate that whole thing. We will hopefully get the report back or the results back on an additional test on an MRI they did on Friday to get the staging of the cancer. So that's kind of why I didn't. My head hasn't necessarily been in it for the last week or so. And again, I still got the group to take care of, but it's always best if your head's not in it, folks. If you can't concentrate 100%, stay out. And I don't say that for sympathy or anything like that, folks. I mean, this is just a normal, natural part of life that just happens. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, and again, not looking for any kind of sympathy whatsoever, just explaining why there's nothing on the chart. There's absolutely nothing on the chart other than you got the 9, you got the 20, you've got VWAP, and you've got the volume profile. Now, let's talk about what happened today. So we opened right around here, folks. So this was the open. Now, we had that death cross to the downside on this candle right here. And I think this was a 65 or a 70 cent candle. So I said to the guys, now, number one, I said, I'm probably not going to put on any trades today, but I will talk everybody through the trades. So again, death cross to the downside on a big candle. And we did, just looking left, we can see that we came, directly through that pre-market low, which again, folks, not any concern whatsoever. We're just going to trade that 920. Now, again, there are different ways to trade that 920. You've got the conservative play, you've got an aggressive play, you've got a fishtail play. You've got a double cross. So there are multiple ways that you can play it back to the upside and the downside. Death cross on this first candle, actually three 3 candles into the day. Now we're moving down, and if we look at those higher time frames, and again, you can see what it did. This is the 30-minute. You can see what we did, the first, well, let's look at the 5-minute, kind of see what that 5-minute looks like. So the 5-minute right in here was starting to point, obviously point to the downside right in here. And I had one of the members, very active member, in the group said, "Are calls off the table today?" And I said, "Oh my God, absolutely not. I mean, in no world are calls off the table on a day like today. Number one, we were right around in here." And I said, no, calls are not off the table. He said, "What would you be looking for calls?" And I told him very, very specifically. And I'm going to show you the level. So the level was 516, I think it was 19, 516, 18, or 19. Let me get to that. Let me pull up the volume profile and see how close we can get to that 18 or so, 561, 18. So it's right in here, folks. So you can see that line right here, 561, 18, 19. Again, you can see this thin volume above this, okay? So we'll get back to that here in just a second. Again, 561, 19, and look at how thin it was up above that. So let's go back to, and you can see how everything played out today. You can see this double cross to the upside. So I said, if we get into this thin volume and get a close over that 561.19 on the double cross with the thin volume, then ride it up and see where that thing takes us. So we had a few folks that took it right here. We had a couple of folks that took on the breach of VWAP back to the upside. Now, the different ways to play this play. Number one, you've got this double cross to the upside through that 561.19. You got to close above that. Then you put on the trade, and on that next candle will win against you for, I don't know, 30 seconds or less than a minute, obviously. But so the double cross is the first way to play. The breach of the VWAP to the upside is the next way you can play. Now, here's where it starts getting a little bit dicey in here. So you got the cross. So we're getting a confirmed cross. We don't have a confirmed cross at 949. We got a confirmed cross at 950. So a cross to the upside at 950. And then what we do is we wait for that first green candle to close green. And that is way up here. So you can take this candle at and again on the close of the 951 as long as you keep a really, really tight stop. The reason is, look at how far away it is from the 9 and how far it is away from, you got the POC, you got the 20, you got the 9, you got the VWAP. It's so far away. So if you're taking a close or if you're opening a position, again, this is the conservative way to play it. Very, very conservative. If you're waiting until you get the close to the upside on this candle right here, where's your stop? So on this particular play, you can almost use the ignition candle. So in other words, the candle that got you in is the candle that gets you out if the play goes against you. You had a long way back down to the 9 at this point. But again, obviously, the double cross to the upside into that thin volume was the best way to play this, followed by the next candle, and then the next couple of candles after that. Now, we just started bouncing around. We had some levels up here we were trying to breach, 562.84. 562.84. And I'll just show you 562.84 on the 30-minute chart. So 562.84, we can get right to it, right up here, folks. So again, you can see that how it becomes very, very thin up here, and we were looking for a nice strong close over this. You can even see into close what we did today. We really didn't get a really strong close over that level, even into close today. Yeah, we did push up. We got past that 563, but we really didn't get anything early enough or strong enough back to the upside to justify playing it past this level today. Now, let's talk about this move to the downside, because we had a couple of different things going on this move to the downside. Number one, you had this first cross. Could you take this first cross to the downside? Yeah, I mean, you might even take something like a fishtail play in here. Probably got whipsawed, got saved by the VWAP. If you were to take that. So we get this cross in here. Nothing confirmed actually from a conservative standpoint. So we're getting this second cross in here. We get a double cross here, a double cross here, and then we actually get the cross right in here. And look at how this thing ran back to the downside. Now, we had a couple levels that we had to get through. Obviously, we had to get through VWAP, but look at what we are doing on the 9. So folks, we use the 9 as support on the way up, and we use the 9 as resistance on the way back down. And again, I don't have any major levels on my chart, and I probably won't have major levels on my chart moving forward, only because, surprise, surprise, I do much better when I don't have a whole bunch of lines on my chart. It's a preference for me. And as 920 traders, either we trust the 9 and the 20 or we don't. Again, feel free to use those major levels. There's information in major levels, but again, I did all of my testing without any major levels, just on the 9 and the 20. Again, 53 cents to the upside, a little over $1 back to the downside. And again, that's the average. You're going to have winning trades, you're going to have losing trades. That's just the reality. Now, once we had this move to the downside, and as far as where do you take this trade off the table? Well, you take that trade off the table when you are ready to take the trade off the table. And again, I didn't have any major lines. So what you can do is, when you get a candle like this, or one of these candles that starts to push down really, really hard, take the trade off the table. Now, as far as taking the trade off the table from the most conservative, you can call it conservative, you can call it aggressive. I call it conservative. You want to make sure that the trade is over. You wait for that first green candle to close above the 9. Are you leaving money on the table? Yes, you are, absolutely, positively, 100% of the time. But you know that the play is over, at least in the short term. Now, what you can do is you can also use this 20. You can use this 20 as resistance, get that bounce back to the downside. Or, again, play it however you want to play it. There are multiple ways to play it. Just be consistent. Be consistent. Now, the price action up to that point, folks, and we're a little over an hour into the day, was really good. But look what it did after that. It just became not good at all. And again, we can look at the 5-minute, and this is what the 5-minute looked like in this period. It was just ugly. It was just really, really ugly in there. Okay, back to the 1-minute. Again, you're playing. I think I counted at one point we had 12 crosses, and we can go back and count those. Okay, so we had this cross going into open, so that doesn't count. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to call it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We had so many crosses. When you get a 12, 13, 14 cross day, folks, it's probably not the best day. And again, we had really, really nice price action in the morning. 13, 14, 15 crosses is way, way, way too many. But when you get this price action like this, it's just cross, 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 cross. It's better just to walk away. Just leave it alone, folks. Just leave the darn thing alone, and go about and enjoy the rest of your day and come back tomorrow. Now, was it bad all day? No, it really wasn't. I mean, there were some plays in here, absolutely. But in order to take this trade right here, you really had to take these trades down here, because you don't know when it's going to finally, break through to the upside. Now, if you got a really good entry somewhere down in here and you're just holding on and holding on and holding on, that's all good and well. But again, in order to make these plays here, you have to take these down here. You don't know which trades are going to work out, folks. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad. That's just the nature. But again, when you have as many crosses as we had today, it's kind of crazy. Now, once we got up into this area, you can start playing these crosses, particularly this last one. But again, you don't know when the good ones are going to happen. So again, cross right here, another cross here, another cross here, downside, upside, downside, upside. Look at how many, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 total crosses to the upside. We're super, super late in the day at this point, and these pullbacks really, really, really start to hurt, folks. They really, really start to hurt. But again, you can see on the volume profile, this is the volume that was laid down today. So again, thin volume areas, we start getting that heavier volume. Now, on the 5-minute, this is the volume that we laid down over the last 2 days. So you can see this POC right here at 61.77. And again, you can see how it's relatively balanced over the last couple of days. But on the 30-minute, this is what we see, and this is why it kind of slows down in here. We get to these different areas, and it kind of speeds up a little bit. But that's how she played out today, folks. Really, really, really nice price action early in the day, folks. Again, downside, nothing for me. again, we got that first cross right here. Upside, yeah, really, really nice play to the upside. Probably it was a very, very clean move. A little bit dirtier, but still nonetheless a very clean move. We stayed below the 9 the entire time right there. We got in here, it just became ugly, and then some decent moves later in the day. Now, we've got some things that are coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow, Wednesday's a big day, but tomorrow we have core retail sales month over month and retail sales month over month. Those are red folder events. Those happen at 8:30, so an hour before the market opens tomorrow. As far as things after that, yeah, we got a couple of yellow folder events that happen after that, but really nothing is significant after the retail sales. Now, Wednesday, again, we have 9 of these every year, folks. We have FOMC day 9 times, right around 9 times a year. My least favorite day of the year to trade, and there's only 9, so it's not a big deal. FOMC day. So we're going to get the Fed rate decision, which it's going to be. They're going to lower rates. The question is how much. Are they going to lower it by 25 basis points? They're going to lower it by 50 basis points. A lot of people think it's 25. A lot of people think it's 50. I have no earthly idea, but I will contend that I think a 25. And again, this is just me. I think a 25-point basis cut is warranted. As far as a 50, when we're talking about a 50 points or half a percentage, I'm talking about that kind of rate cut. It is my opinion that if they cut it to 50 points, I think something is broken. I think a 25 point and we run up a 50 point and we start selling off. But again, that's just my opinion. I don't know any more than other people out here, folks. But yeah, so that's how she played out today, folks. Overall, again, it felt very, very good. And again, I wasn't trading, but it felt very, very good just watching price action relative to the 9 and the 20 without any lines, folks. That is my preference. I'm going to keep on doing that. Unless enough people say, I need the lines, and then I'll give them the lines. I won't use them, but I'll give them the lines. Whatever the people need, that's what we're going to do. But again, folks, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today. We appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, we appreciate it very much. Now, let me see. If you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day, folks. A couple of days last week we didn't, but again, kind of have some things going on, folks. Now, if you are interested in live daily trading where we talk about every one of these setups every single day, folks, upside, downside, sideways, whatever, head on over to our live trading Discord. It's called Trading Decoded. The link for that is down below. We are so confident that you will like what you see. Guess what? We're going to give you that first week for free. If it works for you, wonderful. If it doesn't, we understand that as well. But again, that's where the rubber meets the road. It's live daily trading. If you want to get better at this, folks, hit us up. We will take care of you. Now, if you're interested in the 920 crossover strategy, that's all available at 920trading.com. The entire strategy is there for the entire world to see with nothing left out, folks. It's all there. The entire strategy from A to Z. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a super secret strategy that, guess what? It's not super. It's not secret. It's been around for a long time. You just don't need to do it. But again, head on over to 920trading.com. And while you're there, don't forget to turn on. Don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Saturday. And again, I'm not going to charge you anything for that, folks. But again, thank you for spending a little bit of your precious time with us today. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to do it again tomorrow, folks. Again, we have reports coming out early, and then Wednesday we got the big FOMC featuring Jay Powell. So anyway, folks, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And you guys already know it, but we will see you in the markets.